Today, we're diving into an epic crossover between Marvel and DC, where two fan-favorite characters finally face off. Deadpool and Batman. Chaos, humor, and unexpected teamwork collide in this unforgettable issue. Let's jump right into Deadpool and Batman. We open at Wayne Manor, where Bruce Wayne broods in the darkness of his mansion. Another night in Gotham. Another dead end. He's carefully tracking a criminal who has been stealing chemicals from multiple locations to create Joker Venom. Robinson Botanical Gardens reports a missing pallet of Atropa belladonna. A shipment of neostigmine never arrives at Gotham University. And 500 gallons of dimethylhydrazine disappears from GothCorp Pharmaceuticals. Enough chemicals are now missing to produce Joker Venom capable of infecting a small country. Wayne knows he has to find the culprit immediately, but his investigation hits a dead end. Suddenly, the window shatters and Deadpool bursts in, announcing, "Playtime's over, Wayne." Bruce springs into action, ready to confront this unexpected intruder. Deadpool jokes about mistaking the scene for some aggressive self-care, poking fun at the laptop and silk robe he sees. But Bruce cuts through the humor, demanding to know who Deadpool is. Deadpool explains that he's in Gotham on a job, hunting someone for pay. Though he assures Bruce he isn't targeting him, he's just looking for some extra money. He frames himself as a mercenary available to take out anyone a billionaire like Bruce might need silenced. Bruce quickly clarifies that he's not that kind of billionaire. Deadpool, meanwhile, admires the mansion and notices a photo of Alfred, asking, "Who's this?" Bruce explains Alfred is his butler. Deadpool can't resist joking. "That guy never hosed blood and cheap perfume out of the back of an Aston Martin." "Sure. I bet you made him call you Master Bruce, didn't you, you sick chicken? Not that kind of billionaire. Do you think you're talking to a baby?" Deadpool, now realizing that Bruce Wayne isn't going to offer him any more mercenary work, begins to leave, throwing somewhat of a tantrum, saying, "If you can't respect me enough to have an honest conversation about your disgusting and shameful proclivities, I'm out of here." Should be focusing on catching this Batman guy anyway, but this casual comment mentioning Batman catches Bruce's attention. Deadpool reveals he's being paid to hunt a mysterious figure known as Batman, a man who dresses like a bat, which Deadpool has heard is supposed to be kinda scary and grim, even though it's clearly hilarious. Bruce advises him that Batman operates in the shadows and cannot be found unless he allows it. At that moment, Deadpool glances out the broken window and spots the bat signal, quipping, "You don't think that's some kind of, I don't know, a bat call or something?" Bruce corrects him, noting it's actually called the bat signal. Deadpool laughs to himself, and as he leaves, he states, "A bat signal? Oh wow, there's no way this guy is serious. He's absolutely doing a bit. This is going to be easy," leaving Bruce to mutter under his breath, "Guess I'm going back out." At Gotham City Police Headquarters, Deadpool shows up ahead of Batman to meet Commissioner James Gordon, asking, "Is this the line to meet Batman?" James Gordon introduces himself as part of Gotham City PD, and Deadpool jokes about Gordon's stereotypical grizzled cop appearance, saying, "Let me guess, you're grizzled, you play by your own rules, and you still sneak a smoke between panels." Gordon quickly sizes him up, calling him maladjusted with a tenuous grip on reality and no moral compass. James Gordon has worked in Gotham long enough to detect a lunatic when he sees one, to which Deadpool just remarks, "Yeah, you sound like my dad." Deadpool brandishes a katana at Gordon, saying, "I'm sorry, I didn't realize you and Batman were best friends, but you see, I'm in a hurry too. And since it looks like a mild breeze could shatter your hips, why don't you skedaddle before the merc with a mouth starts blowing?" He pauses for a second before he follows up with, "I'd like to try that again," but James Gordon immediately warns him of the danger, telling him it was a mistake to be holding up the katana to him. But before he can react, a single punch from Batman throws Deadpool to the ground, leaving him stunned and terrified. Deadpool admits that the whole bat thing, it really works, but follows that up with saying, "It's a shame, I have to beat your ass." And as Deadpool tries to stand up to counterattack, Batman is too fast, to the point where Deadpool has to admit that Batman is better at karate. But he also brought his toys, but Batman confirms that so did he. And Deadpool is then stabbed by multiple batarangs before a puff of smoke temporarily blinds him, When Deadpool pulls out guns, saying that he wanted to avoid using them because he heard it makes Batman cry, Deadpool is quickly subdued and tied up. Unable to move, he says, "Okay, wait, you're right, Batman. We are too evenly matched. We all want to know which one of us could win, but the point is, we earned each other's respect. That much is clear," with Batman disagreeing with every single comment Deadpool is making. But James Gordon urges them to stop wasting time, revealing that the Joker has sent them an important message. He's giving Batman 6 hours to find him before he unleashes 30 tons of Joker Venom on Gotham City. When James theorizes that he might be bluffing, Batman responds saying that every chemical he needed was stolen across Gotham on August 8th. He's had plenty of time to synthesize the serum. And Deadpool chimes in saying August 8th? That was a full moon. Which sounds like a little bit of a pointless comment, but this detail leads them to start forming a plan. So when James Gordon says, "You freaks are obsessed with the lunar cycle, aren't you?" Deadpool responds saying, "No, that's her business. Gross. But a full moon, that comes in handy in my line of work. Moonlight illuminates areas without attracting attention because it removes the requirement for flashlights, and low tides open hidden coastal caves. Perfect for Joker's operation." Using Deadpool's chaotic observations, Batman and Gordon pinpoint a small northern cove near Piccadilly Pier as the likely Joker hideout. Deadpool chimes in saying that if he was to set up a secret lair, that's exactly where he would go. And he could wreck a funnel cake and hit the Whirlinator whilst I wait for the tide to go down. And as they debate what to do next, Deadpool pitches that it takes a madman to catch a madman. And he is available right now, so this is great. Batman begrudgingly agrees that they are running out of options, and so he takes Deadpool with him. The scene cuts to the Batmobile where Deadpool complains about the tight space, saying he's getting seriously beat up inside, noting that this thing wasn't built for two, to which Batman responds to say, "I work alone, unless I have a Robin." And Deadpool simply can't resist asking, "Fighting crime with a shapely young boy? Safe to assume you've already heard every joke I could make about that." Batman doesn't respond. Deadpool continues to joke about his own appearance, asking Batman to not reveal who he is under his mask. Batman finally responds saying, "I wouldn't know where to start." And Deadpool goes on to explain that this misshapen pus is the price I paid for my healing factor. Same procedure gave me both, which is why I didn't have to beat you back there, just had to get you into an enclosed space. And he reveals a grenade filled with sleep gas. He pulls the pin, only to then be slammed against the window by Batman, grumbling, "Relax, the gas won't affect me. I'll be the designated driver." And Batman begins to fall asleep to the sound of Deadpool's voice complaining that he doesn't drive stick. When Batman has finally opened his eyes, he has arrived at a disturbing hideout. A room filled with these cartoonish figures, with a voice speaking out to him saying, "Take a look around. You're in a special place, on a special day." Finally, after all this time, the Joker gets the last laugh. And now we finally see the Joker as he reveals himself, this time accompanied by Deadpool. Deadpool compliments Joker saying, "I liked how you worked your name in there." Joker scolds him, telling him to stop stepping on his lines. Batman, currently tied up to a post, confronts Joker about handing his vendetta to a subcontractor. But Joker insists that he's been improving himself, humorously describing his brain as a neurospicy dopamine goblin, prone to task paralysis and lack of object permanence. He explains that he needed what he calls an accountability buddy, and this is when Joker goes on to explain exactly how Deadpool came to be in this universe. He says, "Clarion the Witch Boy hooked me up with one of his spells. You know, a mirror, mirror, hear my plea, show me one as mad as me deal. You get it. Unfortunately, my match was in another universe, so I had to hop on an old cosmic treadmill, but that thing is harder to use than it looks. Wore myself ragged before I broke down and called Reverse Flash." And Batman begins to sing his praise as he says, "I have to hand it to you, Joker. It's brilliant. You found someone crazier than you." And it seems like this comment kind of puts Joker off a little bit when he says, "Well, I wouldn't say crazier." And Batman has to admit that Joker has spent basically a lifetime trying to drive him insane, but that clown Deadpool did it in an hour. And this comment seems to really frustrate Joker, as he says, "Do not call him a clown. That's insulting. I am the only clown here." Batman uses his opportunity to jump on that comment, to say that Deadpool is something more, terrifying, unhinged but self-aware, the perfect opponent, a villain worthy of the Bat, a villain worthy of my obsession. The Joker doesn't respond to this comment, but instead asks Deadpool to have a private word. He goes on to explain that he doesn't want to make things awkward, but he's been working on this plan for a long time, and he wants to enjoy it with his nemesis. He wants to talk about old times, and he wants to look into Batman's eyes as he dies. Just Joker and Batman. But Deadpool responds saying, is it me, or is he kind of special, like a once in a generation kind of special? And he asks Joker an important question. Are you sure you want to kill him? And then Deadpool proceeds to pitch to the Joker that they could both be his nemesis. Deadpool as the younger, sexier, funnier one, whereas Joker could be the one who laughs at his own jokes. And then Joker, with a huge grin on his face, agrees and holds out his hand to say, let's shake on it. But as Deadpool shakes his hand, he's suddenly stunned and screams out in pain, asking, what the hell was that? And it's revealed that the Joker has now injected him with Joker Venom, saying, oh, I know it's not funny now, but give it a moment. I think you'll find it a real gas. And that's when Deadpool's face begins to change. He's more manic and expressive and energetic, and he laughs to himself in a crackling way that's reminiscent of the Joker. However, he proceeds to slap Joker in the face and runs towards Batman to help set him free. Before Deadpool can even reach Batman, Batman has already broken himself out. And this is kinda underwhelming for Deadpool, because he says, I was gonna cut you free in light of Joker double crossing me. Would have been a big twist. Kinda disappointing. But in other news, I feel great. My mind's never been more clear. And Batman is super concerned because Deadpool is teaming with Joker Venom. But Deadpool reassures Batman by telling him that his healing factor will take care of it. Batman tells him to stay there as he approaches the Joker to say it's over. But Joker says, it's been over, Batman. There's enough Joker Venom in this carousel to poison every man, woman, and child in Gotham. In 30 seconds, it will be pumped through every utility pipe in the city. But there's only one way to stop it. A switch in the carousel center. Press it, and the venom will detonate harmlessly, whilst killing anybody dumb enough to play the hero. So this puts Batman in a difficult spot. Either he lets the Joker Venom run wild through Gotham City, or he presses the switch himself and dies in the process. However, Deadpool is more than enthusiastic to run towards the carousel himself, chanting, I got this one, partner, as he laughs out loud. He says, let's see one of your taut young boys do this, Batman. And he flicks the switch right before a massive explosion takes place. And Batman and Joker, from a distance, are simply stunned. Next, we see the Joker tied up and in handcuffs being put inside the Batmobile. And Deadpool from a distance shouts, room for one more? And Batman observes that Deadpool actually put a dent in his Batmobile. So he assumes that Deadpool can't drive stick. And Deadpool's surprised by this because he's like, what, are you a detective? Where are we going? Batman confirms that they are not going anywhere together. In fact, Deadpool is going home, and that he's still got his stupid smile on his face. And Deadpool really does, as he says, do I? It's gotta go away eventually, right? And Deadpool is actually taken by surprise as he realizes that Batman really is gonna leave him behind, even after Batman said that he was obsessed with him. And Batman then begins to reveal his plan, stating that he was saying whatever he needed to say to play Joker and Deadpool against each other, even letting himself get captured because that was always going to be the quickest way to find the Joker's lair. And Deadpool states that that was a big risk. But Batman confirms there was zero risk. But in the end of the day, Deadpool did save Gotham City. So he's going to let him go this one time, but he doesn't want to see Deadpool around Gotham anymore. And as Batman leaves Deadpool behind, Deadpool completely misinterprets his message, saying, if you love something, let it go. I see what you're doing. I love you too, Batman. And then Deadpool wraps up this issue by saying, no harm in taking a little peek around the city, right? Hinting at possible future adventures for Deadpool in the DC universe. This crossover perfectly blends Deadpool's unpredictable humor with Batman's brooding intensity. Between Joker's maniacal schemes, Deadpool's chaotic antics, and Batman's meticulous planning, this issue delivers an unforgettable adventure. And if you're still craving more comic book content, then make sure to check out the rest of my channel where I upload content just like this every single week. But for the meantime, peace, peace, peace.